Today we are going to be looking at measuring the time on an analog clock in 5-minute intervals. Just to recap on last week, an analog clock is this circular clock here, which you can see, which has got a minute's hand, which is the big hand, and an hour hand, which is the small hand. Now, last week we looked at measuring the time and we looked at the minutes, and it was quarter past, half past, and the minute that the minute's hand goes past the 6, it becomes 2, the hour, and you count it as in it's the next hour, how many minutes it is to the next hour. That rule still applies today. So even though today we are counting in 5-minute intervals, the rule of when the big hand, the minute's hand goes past the 6, you would still read the time as how many minutes it is to the next hour. Okay, so first thing we need to recap on is when we measure the minutes on an analog clock, we don't read these numbers that go around the edge. Those numbers are just for reading how many hours. If you're saying 8 o'clock, that's all that those numbers are there for. But they are a guideline to help you to understand how many minutes have passed by. So even though when I move this big hand along to the 3, even though it's not 3 minutes past 8, we would use the 3 to help us to know that when it's on the 3, it is quarter past. Okay, but it's nothing to do, the 3 has nothing to do with the minutes. So let's just go back to the beginning. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock. Now these notches that are in between the numbers, every time the minute's hand moves onto a new notch, that is 1 minute that's gone by. So let's count how many minutes there are between one number and the next. You can look at the digital clock up in the right corner. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 minutes that passed, going from one number to the next. Let's just check that it's also 5 minutes going from the 1 to the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I can see that there are 10 whole minutes that have passed. So all you need to do to tell the time by intervals of 5, so blocks of 5 minutes, is you need your 5 times table to help you. So I know that going from each number here is 5 minutes. So let's just go back to the beginning and we're going to count in 5s all the way around. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and a whole hour has passed by, 60 minutes, and that is the journey of the minute's hand going all the way around the clock, right back to the beginning, and you can see our hour hand has moved from 8 to 9. Okay, now the tricky thing to remember when you are doing 5-minute intervals is to remember that even though you're counting in 5s as you go around the clock, when you get to 6 at the bottom, which is halfway, half past, you are still counting in 5s, but you are now counting down to see how close you are to the next hour. So I will show you an example. So here we go. We'll start at half past. Now I know that is 35 minutes past, as you can see up here, but that's not what we're going to do. We're not going to say 35 minutes past, okay? So let's just remember that when we are counting this way, we are counting down how many minutes it is to the next hour. So if we move it to the 7, how many blocks of 5 are there until we get to 12, until the next hour? So let's count. 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. So I know that when the minutes hand is on 7, that is 25 minutes to the next hour, which is 10. Okay, let's try again. So if we move our minutes hand over to the 8, then let's see how many groups of 5-minute jumps it is till it gets to 12. So it's on 8. So let's jump 5, 10, 15, 20. So the time here is 20 to 10. So there are 20 minutes until it is 10. Let's move it. Oops. Let's move it again. Now we know how to say this one on analog time. This would be quarter to 10. Let's move it again. Here we go. Right, so we've got how many jumps of 5 until we get to the next hour. Okay, so 5, 10. So the answer would be 10 to 10. So 10 minutes to 10. But we would say 10 to 10. And move it again. How many 5-minute jumps until it's the next hour? It is 1 5-minute jump. So the answer would be 5 to 10. So 5 to 10. Okay, let's have another go at counting again. But this time, we're going to say how many minutes past it is. Okay, so 5 past, 10 past, quarter past, 20 past, 25 past, half past, 25 to, 22, quarter to, 10 to, 5 to, o'clock. And let's try that again. 5 past, 10 past, quarter past, 20 past, 25 past, half past, 25 to, 22, quarter to, 10 to, 5 to, o'clock. Okay, so let's have a little go at trying to do it ourselves now. So I'm just going to change the hour slightly and okay, we'll start at o'clock. Right. Okay, so I'm going to put the minutes hand at a 5-minute interval and I would like you to say what the 5-minute interval is. Okay, so let's have a go. Okay, what time is it? That's right, it's 20 past. Let's have another go. What time is it? That's right, it is 25 to. Well, it's 25 to 4. What time is it? It's 5 past 4. What time is it? That's right. It is 10 to 5. What time is it? That's right. It is 10 past 5. What time is it? That's right. It is 20 to 6. What time is it? That's right. It is 7:15. What time is it? Well done. It's 7:30. What time is it? That's right. It is 5 to 9. What time is it? That's right. It is 9:45. Okay, boys and girls, so we're going to stop there. Um, like I say, if you want to practice, you could practice on the online clock, which I'm using here, which is visnos.com. That's VISN for November, OS.com. And you can have a little go at making your own times. But this is a really good way to practice reading the time in 5 minute intervals on an analog clock. There will be sheets for you to complete, which are linked to this, which I will post on Teams. But if you've got any questions, then just send me a little message. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope you found this useful.